Welcome back everyone to Iceberg Sanctuary, where we go through a different iceberg each video and explain them to you. This week's iceberg was suggested by a commenter, so I hope you all enjoy. Shmungai. This is just the plural of Shmungus, and is used whenever you see a group of them, since they like to travel in flocks. Shmungus Crash of 22. As I assume you all remember, back in 2022, the Shmungus market and genre took a nosedive and never really recovered. A couple of things can be pointed to as the reason for the crash, such as the failure of Love and Shmungus, a very anticipated movie that was delayed many times and passed down by many great directors that felt even they could not do the plot justice. Overall, it was received pretty poorly and was a huge disappointment for general audiences. Shmungus King actor. Shmungus King's titular actor, Harrison Hoffman, unfortunately passed away in 2014 to Schmoungton cancer, years before his film would eventually become the cult classic it is today. Rest in peace, Hoffman. Shmungus or Schmongus? Schmungus and Schmongus are two different possible pronunciations of the word. While Schmungus is the more popular choice, Schmongus remained decently used as a pronunciation alongside it, more popular in Midwestern areas. Under the water as we head on to the next section. Failed Schmung-like. Yogscast, a very popular YouTube duo, had once tried to crowdfund the world's first Schmung-like game. Known as Schmung Ventures, it would have broken onto the scene in an entirely new, unseen genre. But unfortunately, following immense support from around the world, the developers could not capitalize on creation of the game before the Schmungus crash, and the duo decided to quit whilst they were ahead. I Married a Schmungus set drama. During filming of I Married a Schmungus, the actor for Zorak, David Happesberger, would often become violent with his co-actress Gianna Thorne, who portrays Lily. Despite the many disruptions during production of the film, and even an incident involving strangulation, I Married a Schmungus would still make it to theaters and receive a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes, being panned by critics and audiences alike. Schmungus t-shirt controversy. In late 2021, a t-shirt startup named Shmung Shirts would begin to sell Schmungus-centric t-shirts, though on delivery, buyers would be horrified to learn that their shirts had been dusted in a light coating of Schmungione-72, a highly deadly isotope of the element that could kill Schmungi with even a tiny amount of exposure. The startup's offices would eventually be raided before the CEO, Gregory I Hate Schmungi Silvone, was arrested and sentenced to death. Shmungus Coin. Shmungus Coin was a rug pull scheme created by Thomas Carfet-Tuger that gained notoriety in early 2019 around the Shmungus boom, with ads featuring Kevin Hart, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and even Christopher Mintz-Plasse. Shmungus Coin buyers would inevitably be left holding the bag, as Thomas would then immediately make his leave towards Schmungaria, where he resides to this day. Now we're getting to the depths of the iceberg. In Shmungus We Trust in real life case. In Shmungus We Trust is a decently popular movie where we see James Schmungolfini defend his right to defend Schmungself during a case in the 1970s. Though he wins the case in the movie, the real Schmungolfini was unfortunately not as lucky, being sentenced to life in prison before eventually having his case reviewed and found to have had incorrect ruling in the 2010s. When the director Victor Cornfield would eventually discover and reimagine the case in the modern age with more Schmungel rights. The original Schmungus boom. The mid-2010s saw many Schmungus classics actually release, though to little notoriety, until the later Schmungus booms of the 2020s, with the most notable of these OG Schmung flicks being Shmungus King. Shmungus Island failure. Shmungus Island was originally a reality TV show in which 15 humans and 15 Schmungi would be placed on an island and interact, choosing one person a week to vote out until a final couple could be decided. Unfortunately, production was set to start right before COVID-19 began to spread around the world. Delays and issues would plague the production until the Shmungus crash, which forced the team to abandon the idea. Shmungus Land decapitation. Shmungus Land's very own Schmosh Schmung Flinger had unfortunately not been inspected by the city of Schmunkago before the grand unveiling, leading to one young boy, Mason Troy Adams, to eventually ride whilst under the height requirement. This would lead the attraction to fling Mason far over the park boundaries and lose his life to an overpass bridge he had hit just above the collarbone. John Shmungus on the island. John Shmungus, famous CEO of Schmungcorp, had long been theorized to be an associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Evidence pointing to this theory includes many birthday letters found in Epstein's estate scattered across the desk, signed by John Shmungus. And eventually, during the Schmungcorp bankruptcy, a former employee would leak secret photos stolen from the offices of Schmungcorp to the press, showing many photos of John Shmungus and Jeffrey Epstein indulging in many horrible acts. Whilst this information has largely been wiped from the internet and disregarded and denied by John Shmungus' defense during his court case, it is nevertheless a smear on his career. Cut Shmungus feature on Donda. Charlie Shmungus Face was originally listed as a feature on Kanye West's album Donda, before mysteriously being dropped alongside the whole track he was set to appear on, known as Shmung Type Shit. Snippets have leaked online over the course of time, but to this day the whole song is yet to be revealed.
Shmung 11. The day members of terrorist group Shmung Qaeda would hijack Shmungarian Airlines Flight 671 under the guidance of George Shmung W. Bush. The hijacked aircraft would then quickly make its way into the towers of Schmuncorp following its bankruptcy. While swept under the rug as a bold new way of tearing down buildings, untold lives were lost that day.
That was the Shmunguss Iceberg, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to smash that Schmunkscribe button and tune in next week. Don't forget to comment your suggestions, and I will see you all next time.